We first met at a club. It wasn't the typical drink way too much and flirt with a stranger while hoping they'll come home with you thing. We really connected. We exchanged numbers, dated for a few weeks, but she lost interest. I didn't, though now I wish I had. I was literally crazy about her. I couldn't get her out of my head, and I was willing to do anything to see her again. The only problem was that she didn't want to see me. I didn't physically follow her at first. I was content constantly checking the social media sites that she updated many times a day. When impersonal status updates weren't enough to give me my fix, I started using her frequent check-ins to find out her favourite places and started frequenting them myself, hoping to run into her. It worked a few times, but more often it didn't. That's when I started full-on following her, and my world became a nightmare. I had initially made it a rule not to go around her house. The last thing I wanted was for a neighbour to become suspicious and call the cops. I broke my own rule one night when I watched as she brought a random guy home from a bar. I was furious and had every intention of telling the guy to get lost when he left the house. I sat in my car and seethed all night, but he didn't leave. The sun had just started to come up when I completely lost my mind and entered her house to confront them both. I climbed in through the downstairs window and crept into a bedroom on the second floor. She was alone in her bed. I was sure he hadn't left, so I searched the house for him. He was in the basement, hung from a rope and pulley system upside down with his throat slit. I ran from the house and called the police. I confessed my crimes of stalking and breaking and entering while they arrested my now former obsession for a much more serious crime. I didn't think the situation could be any more messed up. I was wrong. She was eating people. She confessed pretty much right away, and they were able to confirm that she was telling the truth by testing the meat in a freezer. She would meet a guy, bring him home, drug him, and slaughter him. 4 poor souls followed her home like poor horny puppies and ended up on a menu. When I was giving this information, it occurred to me that I couldn't remember ever seeing her buy red meat when I followed her through the grocery store. Then I remembered that one of our dates was at her house, where she served steaks for dinner.